the bad luck.
So the next topic is the breakup.
With another video.
And what's up to all our new subscribers? Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to this channel. We are trying to do bigger and better things all year and so forth and so on. Yes, it's your girl Keilyn.
It's your boy Trey, aka Findog, aka your homie, aka the next nigga. My fault. And this video is about a story time, or our story.
Our story, pretty much. So, like, okay, so in the last videos, we've been kind of just hinting that we was gonna do a story time about our relationship and the entire like history / timeline and everything. So that's what this video is about today. So without further ado, he gonna sip what's in his cup.
You said we were gonna do it?
Really, nigga?
We gonna get into this video because I'm about to smack him already. So we kind of broke this down. If you see us looking down, it's because we brought a bunch of notes because we know we got this planning thing down now. No, we don't. But we was broken into
different parts, 5
sections. So the first section is how it started. Like, y'all already know the basics of how we met. It's on my channel. If you haven't watched that video, go look at that video because y'all know the backstory.
Yeah, she sat next to each other in just about every class. So.
Pretty much. Like, it was not intended. It was just, we had
it's our last name. You know?
Yeah, Parker and Nolan.
Don't get out my government like that.
Well, anyway.
You got people looking for me.
Anyway. But yeah, so that's how it worked out. And if y'all want an even crazier backstory, he was connected to me before we even knew each other.
No?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. But yeah, that's crazy. It's just, we was connected before we knew we was connected.
Well, I mean, we can give him a brief little description. It ain't too deep.
Okay, so he knew my cousin. My cousin taught him.
No, I thought you was talking about the one who hooped.
The other, I was about to tell him both. Brief synopsis of both. He knew both my cousins. He knew both my family members, and he happened to know the people that died. He was literally there when one of my cousins fell out on the court.
We was hooping. And like, I did not ever meet her or anything like that.
We didn't meet until years later.
And his heart just stopped or something. And yeah. And then her next cousin, he was one of my teachers at my high school. And yeah.
He ended up passing away too. So yeah, it's weird.
Maybe I'm the bad luck.
So the next topic is the breakup. He ended up moving away, which kind of put a bunch of strain on the relationship. We both say the same word, but it definitely put a bunch of strain on our relationship.
No, you said it right the first time. Relationship.
Relationship.
That relationship was shitty.
So yeah,
somebody was too toxic. But yeah, I moved away. Continue.
He ended up moving away. We really didn't see each other much, and then kids at school was just pretty much just like, oh, you cheated on him, you made him break up. Then we ended up going to different colleges, and then honestly, our communication really just hit a wall, and we just both felt neglected in our relationship. We was busy. We was new freshmen in college. We did not know what we were doing. Like, it was just a lot of stuff that we weren't prepared for, that we got rushed into pretty much. I can honestly say that I was not ready to go to college when I went to college. And
I wasn't either. I wasn't even prepared. I didn't want to go to college.
Same.
My advisor, she said apply to schools. I applied to 10. I got accepted in the 9. the one I wanted to go to didn't accept me, so I really didn't want to go to college.
I got accepted. I applied to like 3 of my top schools, and I got accepted into all of them. I chose the closest one that was home. One of them was gonna be California. I low-key really wish I would have went to law school, just so that I could have got out of just so I could have got out of Indiana and just
fuck that. So you can get me out of sticky situations.
I wouldn't be able to defend you, and no, you're not.
Yes, you would.
We ended up eventually just dragging it out, but
it's because we both felt kind of neglected in a way. Yeah.
Yeah,
we just our communication was off. We wasn't talking. It was just horrible. She depended on parties instead of me.
Somebody is projecting.
I never went to one party a day in my life. Never sipped alcohol.
What is in your cup? But yeah, we ended up just dragging it out, but it eventually ended, and it was something that we both agreed to do. We both agreed to end our relationship because we didn't communicate with each other anymore. It was no point to us we didn't know how to continue a relationship back then, so we ended up just
we didn't know how to continue, and we didn't know how to end it, so it was like,
yeah, so
what do we do? And
before it got toxic, we cut it off. We went our separate ways for like a month or 2. Then the next stage,
the in-between.
Yes, the in-between. So, maybe around the time, after our breakup officially, I'm not gonna lie, Trey was my first ever boyfriend. Heartbreak. He was one of my first everythings. So, I spiraled. It was more so a lot of a mental spiral, and then more of a reckless, but not reckless spiral. So I did not care. It was literally like reckless in those aspects. I was depressed. I was super, super, super heartbroken, depressed. This boy really broke me because of the toxic stuff that we both did to each other. We broke each other in the worst of ways that nobody should ever say or hit below that belt ever. And it took a long time for me to get over that. And it took a long time for me to honestly get back to me and to trust in people, to trust in myself, to get it back out of my shell. And then I ended up finding myself, and nobody could tell me nothing. I cut my hair. I was just free. Nobody could tell me nothing. And then I ended up getting into another relationship, and then I ended up getting engaged. But that relationship is over now. We don't talk about that relationship. We don't talk about Bruno. And yeah, that was my side of what happened. What's your side?
Shit, I just went out with the boys and had a good time. You feel me? That's about it.
Now you know you lying. Now you know you lying.
I was sad for a couple of days, and then I was drunk for the rest. Simple. I didn't go to classes. I started to go to classes, but then I started not to go to classes. Then I started to smoke. I got introduced into weed. Changed my life. Speaking of.
No.
No, but I smoked almost every day when I was in college. Not almost. I smoked every day when I was in college. Didn't really go to classes. Unless I had to. Unless it was exam. Got C's in all my classes. C's and B's. C's and D's. Got a couple B's and A's. I wasn't that terrible, but yeah, it just I just wasn't myself, you know. I was blacking out at every party that I went to. Literally, if you ask me about my first 2.5 years at college, I would not be able to tell you nothing. Like, don't remember most of it. What else happened? I ain't getting no relationship.
He just got into a lot of situationships, I guess. But yeah, that is.
You went to school with me, you know that's the case.
So.
Not even counted.
So that is the in between. We both were, as you can tell, the breakup was heartbreaking on both sides. Like we both went through some stuff before we both got back into our senses. Got to our senses. So then, I guess we go into the makeup.
Which was weird.
Our makeup?
Yeah.
Our makeup was very weird. So Trey and I actually went like, what, 4 years without talking? 3 years without talking? Somewhere around
Not that
there.
long.
It was...
2 years.
No. From 2019 to,
2021, 2 years.
Yeah, because we were... Okay, so yeah, Trey... So Trey and I went 2 years without talking officially, but we had been broken up since 2018. So we have been broken up since 2018, and then we didn't talk again until like 2021. Was that when the trip was? 2021? Okay, yes, 2021. So yeah, we didn't. I'm bummed. Okay, but so we had went on a trip. And again, I told you guys I was in a previous relationship. So, by this time I was actually... Take it out. So by this time I was actually already engaged in that relationship. And we had all went on a trip to California.
So we went out there, just me and him and her man. Her ex, I should say.
Correction.
Fuck that nigga.
So it wasn't like that. It was us. It was my cousin, his girlfriend, me, my ex, and Trey. So Trey was the fifth wheel.
Right, don't invite me.
So it was but it was supposed to be more people, but people just couldn't come, I guess. I don't know. So this was honestly just a last minute trip. We really planned it. I had got this bonus at work for working so many hours. And I was like, you know what? I can drop $1,800 for the trip. Let's go. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And that's how the trip had got started. And then after the trip, well, we had talked on the trip about a lot of stuff and just got like a lot of closure that we never got when we were kids, in a way.
Yeah, at the end of the relationship.
Yeah.
The other one was kind of toxic, so we just stopped talking and like cut things off before they got too toxic.
Yeah.
Didn't really get closure, didn't really talk about a lot of things. So when we went to Cali and seeing each other, those topics came up and we just talked about those things.
Mm-hmm. Because it kind of like, it didn't end toxic, but then when we started talking again that second time, it was very toxic. That's why I say what I mean by we broke each other. It was very toxic. So then we talked about all that stuff, all the toxic stuff, and just from then it kind of just like squashed everything. And it was like we just reconnected back to when we were old us, but older us now, if that makes sense. And
she wanted to keep it.
What?
Come on. You wanted to keep it even though you was in a relationship. Come on.
Anyway. Shut up.
You don't know the truth, but you can't even speak right.
After the trip, we really didn't talk because, as I said, I was in a previous relationship, and that's what good people that's in a relationship do. They don't talk to their exes.
She wouldn't give to the temptations, and I'm glad. Because that only means she wouldn't do it well if she's with me, you know?
Yeah. Why you have to do your cheek like that?
To turn my face.
So then Thanksgiving happened. So, okay, so I had already ended my previous relationship. We were already done. The relationship, honestly, mentally was over way longer than it was. It was a lot that we're not going to get into that. But I had already ended it. And then me and Trey still had not talked after I ended it. And then Thanksgiving happened. Now, let me tell y'all how much of a setup my cousin is. Because not only did he not tell me that Trey was going to be there, he also didn't have enough covers. And that's all I need to say. So then after Thanksgiving had happened, we soft texted. We pretty much soft texted until like, maybe like we officially made things like.
It was about a month. It was like,
no, it wasn't a full month though, because we had already made plans for you to come out in December.
Right, we had to talk before December.
Right, so it wasn't a month. November, December.
December is a couple of months before. So, how does that thing?
So what are you talking about? He tried to make himself sound so smart right there. Bro, Trey, stop.
Maybe I don't need to drink this.
I told you. Then put it down. What are you doing drinking it? So then we like soft texted for like maybe a couple weeks. And then after that, we pretty much just like made it official. Like Trey was gonna come out here and visit for Christmas. And then, did you visit before Christmas? You visited before Christmas. He visited in December and then came out again for Christmas. Because before Christmas, we had a talk, and then like we pretty much just caught up about everything that we have been through while we were not together. It's like the most comfortable I had ever been with him, and that's when he knew I was comfortable with him. Then he came out again for Christmas. And I think, wasn't that around like the time where the time where we had the conversation, like we had the what are we conversation?
No, I had to
Trey,
ask you.
Okay, so we both were like, I was already thinking that what are we conversation, but Trey had just finally voiced it, because I was not about to be the typical girl that was like, okay, so what are we? No, that was not going to be me. So Trey asked the question of what are we?
All right, what you trying to do? What's the plan? Because I don't want to get hurt again.
And that's when we kind of just both agreed, like, take it slow. But we technically were trying to catch up on our old relationship. And then it just became horrible. Like, it was just this up and down roller coaster. That was just, it was bad. Like, we just rushed things that didn't need to be rushed. And yeah, it kind of became very toxic again. We argued for maybe months. We argued for months.
Over
like
everything and anything.
Anything and everything, any small little inconvenience, any disagreement, there was a big argument. It did not matter. Like it was a mess.
Like literally.
But yeah, we argued for months, and then we finally like was just like, I think that's when we realized that we both wanted the same things, but we both just weren't saying the same things that we wanted. So once we finally had that conversation of, this is what I've been saying all along, we had to have that conversation and both see where each other came from. It just made the relationship a lot smoother.
Still arguing a lot and everything.
Yeah, so before things were like smoother, we kept arguing. And so we argued the most when we didn't see each other the most, and that's when like all the big arguments came out, because again, y'all know we a distance couple, so that's when all the big stuff that I never say, that I was like holding in, that's when that stuff started coming out. And then it took for all that to happen, and then Trey to come out here and us to talk about it in person, for us to finally understand where we both were coming from.
Yeah, because I had to put some of my classes into work. I took some relationship classes in college and sexual classes in college. Not that type of sexual, like sexual in relationship, like male and female, how they identify and what they expect and stuff like that. So just putting that into actual work and using it, changes. And yeah, that's one of the classes that I actually focused in, because I thought it was about, the other sex. It's cool.
Oh, you thought you was getting one thing, but you got the other.
Right, I thought I was gonna learn, put her in this position. Instead, ask her about her feelings. I don't need to learn about that shit, man. Give me what I came to know about. Alright, come on, man.
I got a lot to think about.
Wow. I didn't get to learn about it. I got to learn about the good stuff. Apparently,
apparently it's these slick comments that be getting me. Okay.
I knew it was something when she was a female teacher.
Oh my God. Anyway, pretty much after, I don't know, like, where do we even, like, there was so much that...
I'm going to be honest, it was me. I had to take a step back and was like, we're constantly arguing. Sometimes we're arguing about stuff we agree on. Sometimes we're arguing about stuff that we don't agree on. We just need a deeper understanding. What is the problem? So I took a step back and I was like, okay, talk to me. I'm not gonna argue. I'm gonna listen. What's the word? What's going on? What's in your mind? And I feel like me doing that, just calming down and slowing down and stopping the argument to actually hear and understand, we got a little further. And
yeah, because at one point it had got so bad to the point where, like, I just was like, I was tired of the arguments to the point I was so stressed out that, like, I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to talk to Trey. Like, it was just everything was bad in life. Like, my job, I was not making enough. My relationship, I was like, it's failing. Like, what is going on in life? Like, I just did not, I was trying to be out this game. Like, I did not care no more. And literally, I had to step back and just, like, tell Trey, like, I need maybe a couple of days just to just stop, pause, and think. And in those couple of days, I even told Trey, like, it was just such a peace that was, like, it was peaceful to not have to come home from work and then go into my relationship knowing I'm about to argue. And I even told Trey, I said, I felt bad for not talking to you for 3 days, but I enjoyed it as well. And I think that's when he took that step back and was just like, okay, all right.
Yeah, like, what you mean you don't like talking to me? I wake up every day trying to talk to you. So yeah, that opened my eyes a little bit.
Cause it was like, I was just, every day we was arguing, and I would even get to the point where I would be like, Trey, I really had a stressful day at work. I really do not want to argue. And then Trey would argue. Like, Trey just wanted to argue. And I was just like...
Well, I mean, that's really all I grew up around. All I'm around now mostly is couples that argue, couples that fight, and then 2 minutes later be lovey-dovey.
And that's why we had to understand that. I had to tell him that we are not them. We are us. We don't talk to each other a certain way. We don't do things like other couples do that a certain way. Like, just because that's what you grew up around don't mean that that's what you have to, you know.
The biggest thing that I learned recently is just because we have history don't mean that you're going to stay around forever. I got to continuously beat my last expectation.
Yeah. So once we got over that, I mean, even when we made it official, because eventually we did make it official. We made it official after 7 months of that rough patch. We had made it official. It was kind of rocky, but it wasn't as rocky, but it was very rocky still. And it took for us to get to this next topic, which is the now, to where we could understand and finally realize where we are. So where are we in your eyes? Like, where are we now?
Shit, I'm cooler now.
Relationship wise, babe.
Oh
my God.
I feel like we good. You feel me? We actually understand. If we don't understand, we can actually talk to each other to understand. If we're arguing, there's at least one of us who'd be like, okay, why are we actually arguing? What's the point? Let's take a step back and understand. Just, you know, I feel like we're good now.
Yeah, I think our communication definitely is a lot better. I think we finally on the same thing, and we both want the same thing, and we both know what it is that we're trying to get to. We both know what we want to get to, so it's just good to finally be on the same wavelength. I was literally just telling Trey the other day that we have not argued in a minute, and do you know what he was trying to do? Argue.
When? About what?
You was trying to make up an argument. But yeah, we actually are in a really good place, and it's just nice. It's nice. You know, I think what really helped us is both of us coming to see each other, whether I go out there to see him or he come out here to see me. That's been really good in helping our relationship kind of like flourish and we don't get as discouraged. So there's not, you know, as much time between seeing each other the next time. So yeah, I think that really helped our relationship. But yeah, I think that's the end of this video, guys. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Share this video, subscribe to our channel, click on that bell notification to see all of our posts when we post next, because we're gonna try to post every week again.
Or every other week.
Or every other week. We've been doing good with the shorts, and we want to thank you guys for the new subscribers once again for joining us, because y'all, the shorts is really carrying our channel right now, so we thank y'all for being here. But we'll see y'all in the next video. Should we start doing pranks? Should we start introducing pranks to the channel? Drop it down in the comment below. All right, bye guys. We'll see y'all in the next video. Why?